So around this time, how was your eyesight?
My chronology isn't brilliant, but I must have recorded the second Sade album in 1985 at a residential studio in France, and my eyesight was getting pretty bad. Halfway through the second Sade album, the lights went out. Literally the lights went out, and I had to ring my wife and ask her to come down and sort of rescue me.
I think you told me it was like a studio where there was some stairs that were quite steep and there was quite a drop.
It was in the middle of nowhere. It was a residential studio, yes, and we were sort of up a long straggly path with a sort of sheer drop on the side, and I literally couldn't find my way from the, from my room back to the studio and back.
So what went through your mind at that time?
I think it was the beginning of a very dark, in every way, 5 years, Ian, probably, well, increasingly, dark 5 years, and very confusing, because on the one hand I had young children who were an absolute delight, but I couldn't see them, which was a torment, in fact. I'd say, listen, I'm a very happy guy now, as you know. I didn't just come out the other side, but I came out the other side, flourishing. But, Robin, is there anything that really, upsets you about not being able to see? Probably the fact I've never seen my children, which I think if you're a parent, you can imagine you do feel that. I've never looked into their face and smiled at them.
Just so I'm clear, so when you recorded the second Sade album, was your eyesight was very limited then?
Yes.
Did you feel that affected what you did in the studio?
Yes, and what happened was about 3/4 of the way through the recording, after all everything was set up, the drum sounds, the vocal sounds, that I said I need to go back to London, and we're also a bit short of time because we'd taken a long time. The band were enjoying their success. They were enjoying time out, actually, from a hectic, round of world touring. So they were enjoying relaxing in the south of France. So we were actually also running out of time. So I came back to London to start mixing the tracks that we'd already done, whilst they finished recording the last 2 or 3 tracks, because I simply couldn't cope with being there anymore. And then when they came back, we did a few little bits of tidying up, of extra recording back at my place, and then I finished mixing the record at my place. And that was probably because, having started it, I was okay, and if you remember, it was also working with someone I was familiar with them, their sound,
yes,
what I needed to get out of them. So it was okay. It was okay to finish that off. It would have been starting something different that was the challenge.